We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
I did. Oh, wow. Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blabs. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers. Oh, welcome out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com. And of course, most importantly, SideScrollersPlus.com. Happy Monday, Tuesday to you. Good to see you. Glad you're with us today. Hopefully you had a good Monday and you're ready to roll on a Tuesday. Your stocks are up, so that's good. If you have them stonks and stuff. We got a big show for you guys. Lots to talk about, man. Somehow I pissed off the internet again by once again having extremely vanilla takes, but oh, the internet, you're the best. Hi, Blabs.
Oh, hello, stonks.
Stonks. That's right. All I see is a
Hi.
bunch of green today after a bunch of red yesterday. So
I know. I'm fine with it.
Do you have stonks?
I will not confirm nor deny anything about that ever on the internet.
That you don't have stocks?
Yeah, I'm never gonna confirm or deny anything that I have or do not have on the internet. It's a rule I made. Yeah. What? I don't like that. That's like that's finances and stuff. My personal finances.
So you do, okay.
Or don't. You'll
Hi,
never
Wicked.
know.
How
Blabs
are you?
doesn't stunk.
I got them stonks, or do I?
A little paranoid, but all right. Hello, all right. Wicked, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me back. It's been a bit.
Yeah,
Missed you guys.
Oh, that's sweet. You're the one because everybody else hates us, which is great. We got a lot of hate watchers recently.
Thanks for watching. Hey.
Yeah, good to see you guys. Welcome on out. It's a pleasure to have you. So what's been going on, Wicked?
A lot actually. Been very busy. I recently brought my Wicked's World podcast back, and it's been doing pretty well. Only a few episodes in. But yeah, I felt like I wanted to bring something back, and it's funny that you're gonna do the toxic positivity talk in a minute. That's actually why I brought it back. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna talk about things I like. Of course, I will point out bad things, but I feel like I just want to be positive again and have something where we just talk to the chat and enjoy. You know.
Well,
So
you
that's
know,
why I brought it back.
so it's funny because there's a lot of irony in this toxic positivity conversation here because like one of our goals this year is to actually just have more fun, which is why we're doing Nerd Duel, which is why we have Blabs Versus. Like we have these new shows designed to be more fun, right?
Yeah.
And so those who are like, "Oh, you're so toxic," it's like, really? We're actually doing things about it. What are you doing? You know?
Yeah. Except just yelling on Twitter, which is not a real place.
Exactly. So there's a lot of irony in that, but we'll get to the toxic positivity conversation a little bit later in our presentation today. But we're glad everybody's with us today. If you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button to join the nearly 117,000 just normal men who have found common sense in the video game and entertainment space, just in the world. It's great. We got a lot of normal men here and women. Just everybody's a normal man, which is incredibly misogynistic and sexist, by the way. But Blabs made that up, so it's fine.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. Also, hit the thumbs up button. There is a direct correlation between you hitting that thumbs up button and discovery on the show on a day-to-day basis. So hit that thumbs up. Thank you, Blabs, for that. Today, immediately after the show, Blabs versus Super Mario Brothers 2 will be premiered immediately after the show. You literally don't need to move anywhere. If you're watching over on YouTube, we're going to put the link over on Rumble, over on Local, so you guys can watch Blabs versus Super Mario Brothers 2. It's the shortest of the first 7 that we shot, only like 11 and a half minutes long. So you guys stick
Waiting
around.
my whole life for that.
Listen, most people have. You had no idea. But the good news is that actually you'll be able to check out Blabs versus the next game, which I don't want to share with because you'll find out at the end of Super Mario Brothers 2 what the next game is.
I
You
have
can
a
watch
clip,
it.
by the way. Well, if you want to, if I can share it.
Yeah, this is a preview of today.
Yes.
Okay, let's see
30
it.
seconds long. If that's cool by you.
Yeah, that's fine. Play it.
All right, here we go, everybody. Good luck.
Go get the star.
Oh, it's fine now.
Oh, okay, take that. I'm running. Go, Peach, go! There's the doors. There's doors. Do I take the doors? We're gonna not take the doors.
Why hit
Pass
them?
that door.
Why hit them when you're invincible? Why would you want to do that? You just jump over them. That's good. Just jump right through them.
The one time where the kamikaze actually would have worked.
That's right. That's a little. I always thought they were like little ninja guys. What
No,
are they
they're
called?
onions.
I don't know what they're called.
Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Ninja stars.
You think that's a
The one I
onion?
just picked up looked like an onion.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay.
Okay,
So-
yes.
Listen, it's chaos. So make sure you guys tune in, as well as the full uncut version will be available over on Plus. Once again, this week, it's the last week we're going to do this. We talked about this yesterday, but just a quick reminder, promo code April will get you $30 off your annual membership over at Side Strollers Plus, gets you full cuts of Blabs Versus, gets you episodes of Nerd Duel before they're released. We got a lot of good things going on over there. And we have a bunch of like reactionary stuff. Blabs reacting to 1998 WWF, which is awesome. So lots of really good
Oh, I want to see
Yeah.
that.
Hey, if you have an account over there, we'll I'll get you the freebie there.
Really? Yeah.
It's just a clip of a button on the back end for us. By the way, speaking of, I need to do something very, very important for everybody. For those who don't know, yesterday was the final game for March Madness, and one of the things that happened that I thought would be fun to do would be to have a March Madness bracket for everybody over at Side Strollers Plus, which, by the way, it was free to join. The link was over there for you to pop in. So this was the Side Strollers Plus group. The March Madness tournament wrapped up yesterday. The winner received a free year of Side Scrollers Plus Blabs. And Blabs, I'd like you to take a look down at the bottom of the screen here for the group results.
Okay.
I'd like for you to announce the winner.
If it's you, I'm just gonna be mad. The group results. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you the winner?
I am the winner.
That's sad.
Suck it, internet.
That's so sad. Okay, whatever. So you gifted yourself a membership?
No, second place got to Luigi, and Luigi I'm going to let him pick a normal man to give a membership to. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's right. So anyways, suck it, internet, on the best.
Oh no, you're helping his ego.
It was total luck, by the way, but we got there and we won. So congratulations to me. Anyways, go be a Plus member. It's how you support the show and stuff. It's huge. All right, we do have a big one today. Lots going on. We are going to be talking. We got a big anniversary today, 31 years ago, since something very important in the world of entertainment happened. We got Jurassic Park happening in real time. The stonks are recovering. And man, we got a lot of Nintendo to talk about today. And I know people are like, oh, you guys are on the hate train. We're not on the hate train for Nintendo. We're on the realistic train for Nintendo. All right.
The critical thinking.
Yes. And of course, we're going to get into the toxic positivity. But first and always, we like to start the show with a little bit of today in video game history.
Alrighty, everybody. April 8th. Did you guys know that an All-Star Baseball 2000 was released in 1999? I'm sure Craig played it, but that one is for like super niche baseball players. Also, Dr. Mario 64 was released in 2001. And shockingly, the Lego The Hobbit game, which I never played, was released in 2014, making it 11 years old. Woo!
What kind of true Hobbit fan are you if you haven't
I'm
played
not
Lego
a fan of The Hobbit. I like The Lord of the Rings. Get your shit together.
Okay. Well, I mean, I am the true Lord of the
Right.
Rings expert on the show, as I've seen all three of them most recently, which, by the way, Blabs, you can change that. We need to do that and then maybe do Blabs watches Lord of the Rings over on Plus.
Why? I've seen it like a million times. That's
Well,
not fun enough.
you
I'd rather do one of those stupid movies. Oh, Netflix Craig. That's fine.
See?
What an improvement. Anyway, no, I'd rather do like a one of those funny comedy movies. Just saying. Oh, hey, you're back.
Do you know what happened right there?
No, you pressed the mute button.
I hit mute.
Yeah,
and it booted
that happened.
me.
That's what happens with my camera. I keep swapping my camera when I hit mute.
Okay.
StreamYard is being silly lately.
It has, man. And by the way, if you guys would like to be StreamYard members, use our code down below. Use our
Speaking
affiliate
of-
link. That's right. All right. Well, some noticeable games that you missed today, Blabs, include
Yeah, sure. Tell me.
the not so legendary Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Wait, not so legendary. So why
Yes.
is it something that I missed?
Well, it's infamous online because our buddy, the Angry Video Game Nerd, that's one of his most famous reviews of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's become an infamous game over the years, and thanks mostly to content creation, for sure, and the Angry Video Game Nerd. You mentioned Dr. Mario 64. Final Fantasy Origins for the PlayStation 22 years ago, which is great. Fatal Fury is always fun. That's a really good release over there on the PlayStation 2. On the PSP, Dragon Ball Evolution. And let's see if we got any of those porno games today. No. Oh, there we go.
No,
Hentai Clicker.
You have the hentai clicker that I was thinking about doing, but then I was like, you know what, like a Hobbit.
Well, there you go. You can go check out Hentai Clicker. Rika is streaming, released today. For
Wait,
your
can you
PC.
click on it and see what the about is?
Better be careful.
Yeah, I know.
We're on YouTube.
It's a
Let's
streaming.
see.
Okay,
Oh, it doesn't
here,
say
go-
anything. Sexy Baguette Studio.
Baguette?
Sexy Baguette Studio. That's
I
baguette.
guess that's an innuendo for wand.
I have a video game question for Craig real quick while we're
Yes.
on the subject. Did you ever play the Wayne's World video game for Super Nintendo?
I did. I
So
wouldn't
you
say
really have to fight Elvis. Like that's like the final boss in it?
I don't know. Never played it that extensively.
Oh, you
It was like one of those rentals, you know.
Oh,
like
okay.
you rent a game and you play it, but I'll say this about the Wayne's World game is visually it looked pretty good,
Mhm.
but it just played horrendously. And how do you make a game about Wayne's World?
I
you
know
know?
that's what when I seen that I was like, wait a minute, like what? So I'm kind of interested in getting it because I do have a Super Nintendo, and I want to get the retro tank and actually stream from it at some point.
Mhm.
But I'm like, should I try and find this Wayne's World game? and
No,
play it?
you shouldn't.
He said no. Okay, yeah, look
No.
at this.
Blabs, do you even know who Wayne's World is?
Yes, I do. I used to have a boss named Wayne, and every time he would text me, he'd be like, Wayne's World. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
Craig's
Yeah.
like, no, don't get it.
No, do not. It's not a good game. Yeah. So here we go. Listen to this sweet tunes.
Gosh, this is so 90s. I love it though.
Yeah, it is very 90s. Playing your guitar. Let's see if you can pick something up here. Hold on. Oh, look at
I
that.
love that his face remains smiling. the
And he just
entire
looks at
time.
you when he stopped, like.
They have these sound effects in from the game, the speech, whenever he gets hit and gets things. Let's see. Anyways, so you listen. There's a ton of other like action platformers for the Super Nintendo that you should 1000% play, and Wayne's World is not one of them. So just throwing it out there. You know what a fun game that you should play is a game called Bob. There's a
Bob.
game. Yeah, B-O-B.
The builder?
No. Bob. Look at this fun little game. This is if you're looking for like a fun little Super Nintendo game, look at this little guy
Aw,
running around.
He's cute.
Yeah.
Because he looks like a cricket or a grasshopper.
Yeah.
And a robot too. A grasshopper robot.
He's all of the above.
Yeah.
The whole idea of this game, if memory serves correctly, I think the idea is that you're on a date with a girl and you have to, like, your car in space gets exploded or something. Like, I don't know. There's something going on where he's on his. I think he's on his way to a date or something. Like,
Oh.
it's the most flimsy premise ever. But the idea is that you're a little teenage robot, which is great. So
Cute. The only games I have are Street Fighter 2, which is the first game I ever played. Love it.
mhm.
And Hook. I've never played that one.
Ooh, yeah,
I can't wait to play that.
that's a fun one. Hook was pretty good.
Yeah?
Right there. Yeah.
Good.
Pretty good for the Super Nintendo. All right. Hey, Luigi came in over on Plus. Says, congratulations, Craig. You won March Madness. Thanks. It was fun. Keep having fun with Blabs Phoenix and all the hosts. Just in case you're fired, Blabs. It's pronounced Jorge.
George.
Blabs, not Jorge. Give it up for
Boards.
Desmond, who became a brand new Plus member today. Thank you very much, Desmond. Really appreciate your support over at SideScrollersPlus.com. Use promo code April to get a big old fat discount on your annual membership. By the way, like, guys, you can try it for free. If you want to try Plus for free, we would love for you to do that. We actually have a promo code set up there. If I can find it, where are you? Promo code for Nerd Duel. You just all you got to do is use promo code Duel for a free month over at Side Scrollers Plus, and you can check out Nerd Duel, before it's released. So yes, head over there. New York Giants fan came in with the dad joke in the day. Says sorry in advance, but this one is terrible. But joke of the day. What color is the wind? Blue. Hey, bada bing! There you go. Thank you for that. It's horrendous. Dirt is King says the company that remade Direwolves are the woolly mice people, and I'm sad he said on Joe Rogan's Experience he wasn't planning on selling them. I support this wave of genetic engineering. Well, that makes one of us, Dirt is King. We'll get to that a little bit later. Mercenary says, guess what? You're fired, Blabs.
So it's another day that ends in Y.
Yes. And Joey says, one of the best licensed game on the Super Nintendo was SWAT Cats, especially the section with the planes. I bet you girls have never heard of SWAT Cats before, huh?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, SWAT Cats was a totally 90s gnarly cartoon, which in the era of like trying to be Ninja Turtles, SWAT Cats was trying to be Ninja Turtles, just with cats who were SWAT members. it was
The
silly.
more you know.
Yeah. SWAT Cats was a thing. All right, ladies, let's get into it. We do have a lot to talk about, so it's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. Friends, it's time for hard news. Hard news. Now, I'm kind of intrigued by this one because we have an anniversary today. We like to do today in gaming history, but we also have today in music and entertainment history. As 31 years ago, there was a noticeable death in the world of music, which if I was to ask the name Kurt Cobain, does that mean anything to you, ladies?
Actually, yes. I just went on a whole discovery the other day. Okay, I just discovered what's his face's name? The skateboarder Tony Hawk. His daughter-in-law is Kurt Cobain's child.
Tony
Frances
Hawk's
Bean.
daughter.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Frances Bean Cobain is married to Tony Hawk's son.
Yeah, interesting.
I didn't know that. I was like, hey, small world.
Yes, it is a small world of suicidal musician rockers.
Woo!
It's crazy. Yes. But what about you, Wicked? Do you know anything about Nirvana or Kurt Cobain?
Yeah, I like Nirvana. They definitely they were like the grunge band of the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Like the top. I have done deep dives into like the conspiracies of his death and everything. So yeah, I'm pretty familiar.
Tell me more. Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Before we get into that, let's actually see how MTV News broke the news. And give it up for Dan Godfrey. Dan is actually going to be on an upcoming episode of Nerd Duel, but he's a fun follow. So here you go. This is how it was broke.
Hi, I'm Kurt Loder with an MTV News special report on a very sad day. Kurt Cobain, the leader of one of rock's most gifted and promising bands, Nirvana, is dead, and this is the story as we know it so far. Cobain's body was found in a house in Seattle on Friday morning. He was dead of an apparently self-inflicted shotgun blast to the head. Police found what is said to be a suicide note at the scene, but have not yet divulged its contents. Cobain, who was 27, had reportedly been missing for about 6 days, according to his mother. The Los Angeles Times reported on Wednesday that Nirvana was breaking up and that Cobain was planning to undergo drug rehabilitation. A source close to the band told MTV News earlier this week that while that story sounded bad, it was better than what was, quote, really going on. That comment remains to be clarified. Cobain's body was found in a house in Seattle where he had previously lived and which he still owned. It was discovered by an electrician who had showed up at around 8:40 a.m. Friday morning, to do some work at the house. He looked in a window and said he recognized the body on the floor inside as Cobain's. Before calling police, the electrician first called a local local radio station to break the news. Although
Wow.
at press time, police were declining to officially identify the body as that of Cobain, pending notification of next of kin. A reporter for the Seattle Post-Intelligencer who was on the scene ID'd the body as Cobain's. And several other news outlets have also gone public with that information. Cobain's wife, singer Courtney Love, had just canceled a UK tour. She was not over there yet with her band Hole. Her current whereabouts are unknown, but she is presumably with the baby daughter she had with Cobain, Frances Bean. We're going to take a look back at Kurt Cobain, his music, the band's music, and the loss of a gentle and wonderful guy.
So there you go. That happened 31 years ago today.
So can I just say how disgusting it is that the electrician first had to see that, right? Because that's got to be horrific to see someone blew their brains out, basically. Yeah. But then the audacity to call like the news station before 911. You little shit. No respect.
Go to Wicked. Go ahead.
Okay. So I tried lately when going down rabbit holes with conspiracy theories, right? Because you could get lost in it. We all do it. Even if people say they don't, you've done it. Don't lie. So the documentary, it might still be on Netflix. This was years ago that I watched it. Have you ever heard of Soaked in Bleach is what I think it's called? Well, there was a detective that Courtney Love hired to look into what happened. And it was, I guess, to like clear her name because everyone was saying that she actually did it. And I mean, people still say it now. I don't know. But this documentary was pretty well done because the detective had recordings of like her voice talking with her and everything. So basically, he found that she seemed guilty, not that the other way around. And it's crazy because she hired him. Like one instance, I won't go too into it. He interviewed somebody that was friends with them. And when he sat down to talk to him, she took him in another room and got him high on heroin first. And he thought that was so suspicious. Like, you're trying to figure out, like, you wanted to clear that this was a suicide. Like, so, like, or sorry, self-deletion, YouTube. But yeah, there's a lot of it. If you are into it, check out the Soaked in Bleach documentary. It changes, like, the perspective a bit on it.
So who do you think did it? Do you think he did it to himself, or do you think that because the overwhelming thought is that his wife did it, but she wasn't there, so she had the alibi and stuff. So
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if she hired someone to do it, because when you like really deep dive into it, it's it's hard to say, but at the same time, it's everyone paints him as this guy that was super depressed. So I really don't know, but if it came out that she hired someone to do it, I would not be shocked at all if that finally came to light, because just the evidence and that, like, that detective, like, why that one specific moment is just so weird. He's trying to interview somebody about it. This could have been the person that she had to do it if the case. So why would you get him high before he talks to a detective? Or it was a private detective, PI. But yeah, it's a pretty crazy conspiracy theory story.
I actually didn't know anything about this. I never knew there was conspiracy theories around it.
Well, I'll say this. I remember, okay, so Blabs, your first thought is it's a shame that people would like go and call her.
Oh, fairly well, Craig.
Oh, oh, look at that.
It's Netflix Craig again. So yeah, anyway, as I was saying, I had no idea. I mean, I wasn't really a big Nirvana fan anyway growing up. I was a bit too young.
Same.
But if you even look on the Wikipedia page, you would never really see anything about conspiracy. So all this is kind of new to me, but
watch the documentary. You might find it interesting.
I mean, listen, there's always a conspiracy theory for everything, but
that's
I don't know, man. I didn't know about that. That's wild, but I wouldn't put it past people anymore. If you learned a lot in the last 5 years, and I'm like, yeah, maybe.
Like, I kind of believe everything these days.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat as you. I was too young when at first when they were big, way too young. But then, like, teenage years, I found them, and I mean, they're not my favorite band, but there's a few songs I like. They had an unplugged concert live that I enjoyed. But yeah, you should. I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole now tonight and be like, so
yeah, I'm actually curious.
You should. The guy could have just made the documentary to make some money, which is where it's also like, okay, but he had recordings. That's the thing. He recorded her talking, and she sounds all strung out half the time, and it's just very odd that's
like
the
she's
behavior.
High?
Oh yeah, she was absolutely.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh hey,
welcome back. We thought Netflix
nice
got
to see you.
Yeah, I got
Netflix.
I got Kurt Cobain there.
Oh no.
Oh no. Sorry, am I interrupting y'all?
No, well, we were just talking about the conspiracies.
We were just filling the time
Because
while we
it's
were
new
waiting
to
for
me.
you.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
it's all new to me.
So what's interesting about and where I was going to this was, Blabs, you mentioned how this guy called a radio station beforehand, right?
Yeah.
Listen, it was
That
about
happens,
clout.
I get it. They want
Right.
to pop the news, but still
And-
very disrespectful.
You know what they do today? They would
They
tweet
take
it.
photos.
They would tweet it out.
Yeah, I
I
know.
just found Kurt Cobain's body, whatever, right? Like that's exactly what would
I know
happen.
it's still. I get it. It's news, but I don't know. Found it a little bit disrespectful.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what's interesting is that he's a part of what people call the 27 Club. Have you heard of this, Blabs?
Mhm.
Yes. Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Amy Whitehouse,
Yeah.
Winehouse. I always thought it was Whitehouse. It was Winehouse.
Congratulations in White House.
Kurt Cobain, obviously, as I mentioned, Brian Jones, member of the Rolling Stones. So, yeah, it's interesting. I remember that day actually very well because Nirvana was on fire. I was 13 at the time, almost 13. And I had a guy who lived down the street who was a couple years younger than me, but he was totally into the whole grunge thing. And when you think of like 90s grunge, this kid was the epitome of it. He was 11 years old. He had sideburns. It was crazy. And I remember
11 with sideburns.
Listen,
Nice.
it was nuts. I remember this kid, Tim was his name. And he was like, "Did you hear the news?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Kurt Cobain died today, killed himself, man." And he's like, I don't even know how I can go on after this.
He's 11.
I have nothing going for me anymore.
Yeah. Well, I think Tim is now a plumber, which is great. So good for
Hey, he
Tim.
makes
Yeah.
bank.
I'm
Good
sure
for him.
he's doing excellent. So, but he did recover from Kurt Cobain's death. So
Happy to hear that.
Right on.
good for Tim. Way to
Life goes
fight
on.
through it. Anyways, just a nice little, well, not really a nice, but an interesting anniversary today. So would love to hear your thoughts in the chat if that affected you in any way, shape, or form. Wicked Virtue is a plus member, which you
I figured it out.
okay. Thanks, Wicked. Appreciate
Of
that.
course.
Let's go. All right, we're gonna figure it out ourselves as well. Thanks. That's demanding.
You got
Ian
me with
came in.
Blabs WWF. I need to see that. I know she didn't watch it. I grew up watching the Attitude Era. I got to see her reaction.
Let's go. Ian came in and says, "Hi, I'm here to report the passing of Kurt Cobain." Okay. He says, "Try not to laugh at the fact that the studio's background is mostly borrowed from the Teletubbies set."
Oh,
Thank
no.
you.
Wait,
Ian.
what? The video we just saw was
MTV?
Teletubbies like? I wasn't paying attention. I was just listening to like the reporter. That's wild.
Yes, here you go. Would you like to see Kurt
Yeah, I
Loader?
want to see it again.
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it back up. I had to switch browsers.
Oh, that's what you did.
Yeah. I don't know. Something just happened. There you go.
Oh,
that.
that's funny.
It's very, very,
Very 90s.
very 90s. Yes. Pretty cool looking. Got like
Teletubbies.
full circuitry going on back there with Kurt Loader.
Big hug.
Yeah. Modest says, "Hey, bada bing, what's the haps? I got some stonks and ravioli mozzarella cannolis. They are not doing so well. Arrivederci, mi amicis." Hey, Modest, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Blabs, you know what I had last night for dinner?
Meatballs.
Lasagna soup.
I'm sorry, did you say lasagna soup?
You ever had it before?
The fuck is that?
No, I've never had it.
Delicious.
No.
Blabs is offended.
No, that's not a thing that you eat. What the fuck?
That's not a thing. You made it up.
It's a thing. You know it.
What'd you do? Buy from like a Campbell's can or something?
No, made from scratch, but that my wife made.
I'm sorry. Listen, I like your wife.
Don't apologize for my wife's cooking.
I respect her a whole lot, but I disagree that you cannot have lasagna soup. What the fuck?
Okay, psycho.
Cazzo.
Go and read Shane there.
Whatever, man. Bentley for 10 says, "Indeed, well done, Craig, on the tournament challenge and acknowledging Luigi as the winner. With that said, I'm not sad or anything for not getting a prize yet."
You're right. You came in third. Sorry.
Oops.
Sorry about that, Bentley. Maybe we'll figure something out for in 2029 for you. Okay, appreciate that. Suffer for 2 says, "Sup, Craig and Blabs and Wicked. Is she a Latina? Either way, I'm sick and tired of other YouTubers giving Nintendo a pass by saying Nintendo games were $80 to $90 back in the day. Try justifying their pricing today. The reason for those high game prices back then was because Nintendo passing the price of the cartridge and PCV productions to the consumer compared to the prices of PlayStation where they were on CD based. It's cheaper to produce CDs than cartridges. Well, thank you for that.
I agree.
Magnus says, Studious Greg, Blathering Conjurer, and Wonky Vulture. Hail. I found out Cobain died during a band practice, so we played a couple Nirvana songs backwards to try to bring them back. It did not work. Thank you, Magnus. Appreciate it. Sorry for your loss.
I like that. I'm going to text you later, Wicked, and be like, what's up, Wonky Vulture?
I like it.
Bullet Shepherd says, there's no mystery. Cobain was a junkie who didn't want fame, so he deleted. No tangible evidence on Courtney. If he was alive today, he'd be the biggest woke left activist. Even he was even in his day.
I'm sorry, but I don't really understand how him being like a wokey activist maybe today has anything to do with his sad suicide.
Well, yeah, it doesn't, but he was just bringing it up. Yeah,
just a point.
Miles says Kurt Cobain, Shannon Hoon, Andrew Wood, Lane Staley, Scott Wayland, Chris Cornell, Ben Miller. Yes. The alternative rock grunge band Curse. Yes, if you were popular, you probably aren't alive today. Lane Staley is much better than Kurt Cobain. Thank you, Magnum. Appreciate that. And Wasp says, I personally wouldn't trust Netflix documentaries. The documentary Tread about the Killdozer apparently had a bunch of bogus stuff in it. The Lore Lodge did a video about it. Thank you, Wasp. And Delta says, here's a bold Nintendo prediction. Come Christmas, game prices will normalize, but Nintendo will offer a, quote, reward to dedicated gamers like yourself or Yellow Flash to buy first-party games a week early for $20 plus. Stay blessed out there. We have April snow. All right, Delta. Well, enjoy your April snow. Okay, let's go and move on. Guys, thank you very much for your support. We have this is one of those true or not true videos, which, hey, it's on the internet. It must be true, right? It must be legit. I feel like we've seen this before, Blabs, but we're going to watch it anyways. Nose waxing gone wrong. Blabs, you ever waxed your nose before?
Absolutely not.
Wicked, you ever waxed your nose before?
No.
Don't think I necessarily want to. This lady isn't going to handle it very well. Let's see what happens here.
1, 2, 3.
I like the wheezing of the husband.
Sounds like a tea kettle. I thought the tea was ready.
Look, he's got it in there too. He's
the couples that wax together stay together, I guess.
No.
The kids in the background freaking out.
Well, and that's the thing is like when your mom's over there going, the kids are gonna freak out too.
Yeah, so. Poor kid. He's probably like traumatized.
Let's see how this goes.
Mikey,
I'm fine. Mikey, I'm fine. Mikey, come here, baby. My kneecaps are shaking.
It's funny, bro. Come here.
I'm fine now because I have a free nose so I can breathe. Ooh, my kneecaps are shaking. I think I gotta sit down.
Here, bro. I still gotta be live.
Oh shit!
Oh, I'm fine. Oh my god.
Hey, so we better record this. Yeah.
You better record this. She died. Like what the
heck? Passed right out from waxing, man.
Poor lady. Now, I do think it's kind of legit, mainly because the guy had it going on in him. Listen to what she says here.
Get it out of my face!
Get out of my face!
Get out of my face! It's not the first time she said that, but what?
Nothing.
She's talking about nose waxing. It's crazy.
Right.
Has anybody here ever, like, I don't know, the waxing thing is weird to me, right? I something I don't think I've ever, you know what? No, I have had my eyebrows waxed before.
Yeah, me too.
And I've had my legs waxed before.
We're finding more information about Craig all the time now.
Blabs, this is on the internet. Listen, when you've been online for 20 years, chances are you've had something waxed publicly. I'm just throwing it out there.
Wow.
I lost a bet. I had to get my legs waxed. It was horrible. And when we were doing that, I think I got my eyebrows waxed as well as part of it as well.
That sucks because like you weren't even growing the hair out to get the right measurement, so it's easy to pull out. So like that must have been even more painful because you had super long hair because you were due.
Yeah, just
not fun.
Yeah, it was rough. But the yes, I very vividly remember just being like, no.
Is it a Steve Carell moment?
Not as bad because my legs don't look like Steve Carell's chest, but
Like Austin Powers, yeah.
Right. So, it was definitely enough though to be like, I did not like that
It's
at
a
all.
normal man's leg. Let's be honest. They're all long hair. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't go in and like shave beforehand. I didn't.
Well, you're not supposed to if you're waxing.
Oh, okay. I don't know these things.
Well, if you shave the hair off, there's nothing to wax, Craig.
Well, let's say you shave. I don't know. Just in theory, this is me just thinking about this for the first time in my life. Wouldn't you like shave maybe a couple days in advance to let the
You're
go out a
supposed
little
to
bit?
let it grow out, actually. Like, they even say for like 2 weeks, depending on the person.
Okay. Well, look, I don't know. Either way, rest in peace, that lady. She died.
She died. She fainted. Clarification.
Okay. All right. Let's continue to move on. It is Tuesday, which means it's time for Plane Talk. Oh no. Where's Plane Talk? There it is.
Plane Talk.
Okay, we have listen, we try to avoid plane talk when really bad things happen, but this could eventually lead to something fairly catastrophic as a major airport in Osaka, Japan is sinking into the sea.
Yep.
It sees 30 million visitors a year, and it is slowly making its way down into the ocean, which is a tough sell if you are flying into Osaka anytime soon. So
the TLDR is that this airport's been open for over 30 years, and since that inception, it's sunk 38 feet plus below what it used to be. So it's slowly sinking into the ocean because of like the earthquakes and everything else, and like the way it was built, like they're saying the clay and all that is like compressing and going wee and sinking down.
Oh, is that what it's doing? Going
wee.
wee. All right,
So,
thank you.
Not very good. No.
No. It is very good. Look at this right here. This is pretty impressive. It has never lost a bag in 30 years.
Dude, Japan, they know how to do it. I mean, like, they were literally so nice when we were leaving the airport. Like, they were like bowing at the plane. Like, thank you.
Thank you.
Flying to Asia is a lot different than flying around here in the United States. I remember getting on a plane to go to Japan the first time, and I think I was flying like Japan Airlines, and they got on, and the stewardess literally like bow at you, and you're like, "Whoa, I don't deserve that."
Calm down.
Yes.
We need to bring bowing actually to like Western culture and be more respectful. I find it'd be nicer.
Well, Blabs, why don't you start that trend?
I'm not bowing to you though.
Let's let's bring curtsies back.
Yes. Yes. Craig has to curtsy too.
Blabs, listen, I'm all about feminine and masculine roles, and I will not be curtsying anytime soon. I will be giving nice, firm handshakes.
How about a bow?
Like on the waist one,
yes,
like the prince.
Like Your Highness.
No, I'm not gonna bow or no.
It's like in Princess Diaries 2 Wicked when like the maids are like curtsying and bowing and they don't stop. That's basically what Craig can be.
That ain't. Listen, you're the one who wants to bring this back. I don't know how I got wrangled.
I think more respect is definitely needed in this society.
He's like, I said you guys could curtsy, not me.
Yes,
I am God.
Yeah, if you want to bring it back, it's up to you. I will 100% let you do that. That's fine.
I will be bowing to nobody, but I expect bows in return.
All right. Well, as we talk about entitled, jeez, God. Jesus Christ. I will bow to no one, but you will bow to me.
No problem.
What's that, Blabs?
You can bow if you'd like, no problem.
No, absolutely not. Here you go.
Bring me my tea.
Lenny says, Craig's part of the problem. Just bow, man. Just bow. No, I'm not gonna bow. Bullet Shepherd came in some Blabs. I'm saying even for his day, Cobain was a progressive activist, Tron, socialism, etc. So imagine how much worse he'd be in current day. Thank you, Bullet Shepherd. Appreciate that.
Sorry, I want to turn my fan on.
That's fine. Ian says, of course Craig has had his legs waxed. I can't even pretend to be surprised anymore. Listen, Ian, once again, when you've been online for 20 years, chances are you're listen, I've swung hot dogs into my mouth before.
It's true. It was embarrassing, but we saw it.
It's stupid. It was stupid. Like people talk about, like, why can't you just have fun? Like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, this is so fucking stupid and dumb. Magnum says Lane Staley was a heartbreaking thing in the 90s. Sorry, Magnum. And Big Hale fan says, just to prove the tariff excuses BS, Prime 4 on regular Switch is still $60. Oh, yeah, that's a dagger to the heart of the tariff thing. JB says, Craig, a live Brazilian wax win? Never. Thank you, JB. Appreciate that. Blabs, I can't pull up this underwater and Roman gladiator stuff, so I'm going to let you do that.
Okay.
I mean, I have an ad blocker on. It's not letting me do that. But while you pull those up, I do want to talk about Jurassic Park becoming a thing, as this was major trending news over the last 24 hours, as scientists they've brought back an extinct direwolf here. This is Remus. He's a direwolf, the first to exist in over 10,000 years. Endangered species could be changed forever. So they brought back a dead species of animal, which is absolutely terrifying. We've seen this before, I believe, in a movie from the 90s called Jurassic Park.
Some like hit motion picture that had many sequels and, theme park rides and merchandise. Just nah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want the dinosaurs to come back. Please stop.
No. And like all these animals that lived with the direwolf are not here anymore. So when you go and put another animal that's not supposed to exist in the ecosystem, you fuck up the ecosystem. I don't know how hard it's not to understand. It's easy. Now they're gonna probably do like mammoths and stuff, and we're all gonna get smushed by a mammoth, like run over or stampeded, whatever. It's fine.
And we thought 2020 was bad.
But Blabs. Listen, they're so cute. Listen to them
No,
howl.
they'll eat you.
Listen to the Blabs, they're so
No,
cute.
it
Listen
eats you.
to them howl, Blabs, they're so cute. Sounds like a dog.
It is a dog. So
Yeah, sounds like a good old dog. That's what it sounds like.
that was gonna grow really big.
They're cute, but I
Birds.
could just get a little white Akita. It looks about the
Mhm.
same. So, and it won't eat me.
Life finds a way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's really a good idea. As I said in the chat, you're playing with nature. I don't think it's a very good idea to just be playing with nature, right?
No.
Just one of those, I don't know, just throwing it out there, like what's the old saying? from
Jurassic Park saying.
Yeah, it's something along the lines of like, you were so worried about making it happen, you didn't realize if you should make it happen or
Yeah,
something.
you didn't stop to bother to think if you could or like
Right.
would or should, whatever it was. Yeah, that
Right.
one. That's true. No, thank you. It's a no from me.
But strictly hypothetical, and this is a big hypothetical, if they were to bring back a dead animal of some crazy sorts.
T-Rex.
She's gone crazy, chat.
What about you, Wicked?
I don't know, honestly. I don't. Whatever's gone should just stay gone. Became extinct for a reason.
I can go visit at the museum.
Yeah, that too. Maybe if I want to go crazy like Blabs, I'll just say bring back the raptor, lost raptor. Why not? While we're at it.
Okay.
Oh my god, and our T-Rex and raptors can be friends? Yeah. They'll have playmates and all that. Yeah, it'd be great.
Don't worry, I'll get a baby gate. It'll be fine.
This is funny as shit. Jurassic Bark. Hey, let's go. Bada bing. Thank you, Marius. That's phenomenal. Okay. Got a really weird hypothetical here for you. They use DNA to bring back these wolves, apparently. And McFly says, not dire wolves, lightly edited gray wolves. Nothing has been brought back from extinction. This is just a publicity stunt like the woolly mice. Okay. Well, let's just, if it is, that's fine. But let's just play hypothetical here. They brought this back with DNA. Let's just say they did.
But they did. They scraped it from fossils.
Right. Well, they're saying this is a lightly edited.
It's genetic engineering and from the DNA. So
okay.
Yeah.
So this is DNA brought back from a wolf from 10,000 years ago. Hypothetically, couldn't you bring back a dead relative with DNA
I
I'm
mean,
just playing weird
A
science.
clone?
I don't
Have
know.
you not seen about like Dolly the sheep?
Yeah. But have we seen that? I mean, look, there's all sorts of conspiracy theories as far as like if we've seen clones in real life and stuff. I get it. All right. I've been to the internet before.
Craig's a clone.
But am I? Am I not?
I don't know. I feel like Mercenary's gonna pop up and be like, "Oh, I know a clone."
Mercenary is a clone. But let's just say hypothetical. Wicked, they came to you. These people who clone these dire wolves or recreate these dire wolves. And they're like, hey, so Wicked, we have DNA of your grandpa. Would you like Gramps to come back? What would you say?
no.
No.
That's unnatural.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it's inhumane, especially with humans. Now, I'm not on board with like bringing back extinct creatures either, but yeah, no, I would think that'd be like an abomination, like some Frankenstein walking around, probably doesn't have, doesn't know what's going on. I don't know. That would just be beyond creepy. It would make for a good monster flick, though.
Dude, right?
You'll
Right?
see that Universal Monster Dark Arts and all that. Yeah.
McFly was like, this is a stupid hypothetical. Yes, it is. It's a stupid hypothetical. It's not meant to be serious. Blaz, what about you? Let's say they brought back your great grandma who taught your mom how to make some sweet Guam food, right? And you could pick her brain about. Let's say they held on to all their memories.
No.
No, okay, now they're gone forever. Okay, just curious.
No.
I'm with you. I just want to see how sick it makes you.
Listen. I think like if preserve people's memories by writing them down in a book.
Yeah.
Not bringing them back to life like it's some fucking Frankenstein meets Jurassic Park.
What about you? What about you, chat? Is that something you'd be into? The idea of like bringing back a dead relative if you had the opportunity? Just curious. Singing Bush says that cute baby howls were translated. They scream, "Want human meat." Yes, they're gonna go on a ravenous rampage like the velociraptors over here. Shane O'Mac came into the tent, says, instead of dire wolves, can we just bring back human decency for Montez? Let's go, Shane O'Mac. That's a great one right there. Zandy came in, says there's a great argument to bring back the dodo. Dumb and would be a great alternative to chickens, and they allegedly tasted great.
Okay, I'm for that.
There we go.
Because dodos are cool.
Okay,
But
now
I don't really want them. Like, I'm not for that. Like bringing it back, but I do think the dodos are really cool.
I would prefer that over something that can kill me. So I mean, if we gotta pick.
Well, I mean,
but
dodos.
Be careful about the bugs.
I'm sure the dodo could kill you if you wanted to. If the dodo wanted to kill you, it could kill you. Just saying.
It's a fucking stupid bird.
No. You get a bunch of dodos together.
What is this, the emu wars in Australia? Like, no.
You get those dodos together, they'll bust your ass. Kratos says, Craig, you were so preoccupied on whether you could, you didn't think if you should wax your legs. Shut up, Kratos. Dirtus King is back, says the dire wolves are effectively a tech demo for cloning animals that are going extinct. These people are colossal biolabs. Colossal biolabs have rewilding experts to determine how to reintroduce, but mammoths make sense. Why does a mammoth make sense? That doesn't make any sense at all. I don't
smush you. Yeah. It makes sense until you come face to face with one, and then you're a pancake.
Nikki, let's go. Great to see you. Came in with a $50 super chat. Says, yeah, bring back velociraptors back. Back, by the way, they're only like the size of a chicken, but like 6 foot long and don't live in the U.S. Velociraptors are Mongolian Dinoesis. The raptor that was allegedly used in Jurassic Park is from the United States. Yeah, just go bring them back. Why not?
Why not? Let's see what happens.
That's right. It's crazy. Nikki,
I actually have been learning about dinosaurs in Jurassic World. So.
Oh, that's good.
She's a professional.
The Walrus says, without death, time becomes meaningless. That's a good point, Walrus. I like it. A Mercenary says, no, Elon Musk is a clone.
Oh, here we go.
SVZ says they look cool and delish. Thank you, SVZ. Ian also came in with the $50 super chat. Says, bringing someone back to life sounds fascinating until you have to teach them how to use a smartphone. Let's go, Ian. Could you imagine the absolute, like if you were to bring somebody back just from like someone who died in like 1957, right? And you said, hey, here's technology. This thing is a phone. And they're like, phones? What? They hook up to the wall. And then you go, well, there's this thing called the internet. Like just trying to explain some like the technology we have in our hand right now.
It's like the plot from Captain America.
It'd be insane. Well, like how amazing would that be? That'd be so fun. Thank you, Ian. Greatly appreciate that support. Waz says Tasmanian tiger needs to be brought back. Ever since they were hunted by humans to extinction, the whole ecosystem of Tasmania has been a train wreck. Bring back a species that belongs. Fucking humans. Thanks, Wasp. Appreciate that. And Arcus says dire wolf, Tasmanian tiger, saber-tooth tiger, and woolly rhinos are as pets win, please. I ain't lining up for that shit. Red Skulls is a brand new Plus member. Let's go, Red Skulls. Thank you very much. That's outstanding. And Andrew came in and says, if humans keep playing, trying to play God, eventually he will respond. Appreciate that greatly. All right, we are at 19 of our 20 Super Chat goals today. Thank you guys very much. Love the God conversation here we're having here. But there's more because Blaz, we had a couple more. We're calling this, what are we calling this? Side adventures?
Side adventures, yeah.
So side adventures are things that are not necessarily gaming and entertainment, but we still want to talk about. So
yeah, they're basically quick hits. I mean, you can gather everything just from this title alone. Let me go like this. All right. It's from the Daily Mail. It says, mysterious underwater pyramid believed to be 12,000-year-old reshapes history. And you can actually scroll down and you can see some of this. Look at that.
Wow.
We've had a lot of things that have reshaped history in the last little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's random ads. There's more images here.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I'll tell you this, man. The more I said this before on the show, but the older I get, the more I realize I don't know jack shit. And I think that there's so much of what we've been told is just a fucking lie because it's just people who are just assuming things. So yeah, I mean, I think the whole younger Dryas theory is is really intriguing. Are you familiar with that, Wicked?
No.
The whole,
I don't think so.
So in all of record, and I'm going to screw this up so bad, but in my very primitive knowledge,
Just sum it up, right?
In pretty much every recorded history, there's some sort of major flood, regardless of the religion, regardless of whatever. There's always some flood that happens, some sort of catastrophic event. And the long and short of it is, it apparently times out in like all these instances to about 12,500 years ago. And that's like when the last time we saw a reset on like in this world, in our world, where there were obviously like a giant flood or some sort of catastrophic event happened. But the idea is that there was major advanced life long before. Like we've always thought of like our ancestors and everything as like super primitive, but there's evidence that says that there's been much more advanced life than we previously thought, you know? So it's interesting. It's fascinating stuff. I'm intrigued by it for sure.
I just put it in the private chat. This actually goes in with this, the structures and voids that were found underneath, I'm probably going to butcher this, Kafari.
Yeah.
They did this thing here. That's insane to think because this, we don't know what is under there. That could have been like a whole, I don't know if civilization is correct, but
yeah,
like living quarters, like we don't know what's under there. We thought it was crazy that they built the pyramids, but now there's something under the pyramids, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. So this is there's a lot of questions about this image in particular, like this idea of what they're talking about. A lot of people who have been around those pyramids are like, I don't know about that, and even those who are fairly skeptical when it comes to that, but. You know, I think the big thing is that I just think we've been told a bunch of stuff that a lot of people are pushing a certain narrative and they just happen to be in positions of power or they're seen as authorities. And ultimately, when they are making guesses, they say, well, they're the experts, so they got to know, they got to know better than us. And they're the ones studying it. So
don't question it. They know.
Don't question. That's right. Don't question this. Marius came in with a 10, says, Montez, let's go, Marius. Thank you.
We still had another side adventure.
We do, but let's get to Montez. This is the main adventure here. We do have a Montez for you Wicked, you get to pick. Will Montez be done with? We have 8 Montezes for you to choose from, including Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, The Moon, Dustborn, Mario, Duck Hunt, Tetris, or Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Let's do Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt it is.
Bitch! Montez!
Let's go. Great job, everybody. Great job. Put a new Montez goal up for you guys. It's 15 instead of the 20. So let's keep rolling with Montez today. Thank you guys very much for your wonderful support. Joey came in with the 20, says, I get why some people would like to bring back relatives and friends back from the dead. I, for one, would like to see several people from my life who have passed, but at the same time, it would be unnatural. I agree. Tanishi says, bring back Grandpa? Go summon up. Go summon up the dead ones from essential salts before you summon anyone. Be sure that you can put them down. That's true. if they revolt, you got to be able to make sure they're able to go back dead. And Dirtus King says, the Lord made us to be masters of animal on earth, fixing the extinction of his creations by using the intelligence that the Lord gave us is no more wrong than making the sun rise in Hiroshima was. Thank you very much, Dirtus King. And give it up for Psychotic Mongoose, who gifted a membership to the channel. Let's stink and go. Mercenary says, all of history is a lie. All of it. All right. I do see all your super chats and direct donations. We'll get to every single one before the show is over. Thank you very much. Blabs, where's the other side adventure that we're going on?
Okay, so a rare lost tomb of Roman gladiator found 2,000 years later, an extraordinary discovery. So here's the image right here. That's basically the TLDR.
Oh, so
I just think it's cool.
Hold on. So that's a tomb of a soldier or a gladiator?
Yeah, a gladiator tomb discovered after 2,000 years.
Where's the actual tomb? Where's this stuff?
It's in the middle.
That's it, right? It's right there in the middle, huh?
That's what I'm understanding it.
Okay. It's not like hidden underneath that building to the left there?
I don't think so. Unless the entire thing is considered the tomb.
Man. See, I'm so intrigued by this stuff. Like things from like 2,000 years ago, this period, Pompeii. Like, do you guys know a whole lot about Pompeii?
Yes. It was also featured in a Doctor Who episode.
Okay. Wicked, is there anything that you're like super fascinated by this time period? Or is this just kind of like one of those meh for you?
No, it's I find it all interesting. I like hearing, I actually like history, things like that. It's very it's like the Pompeii stuff. That's just like the way bodies were found, like in the positions. It's sad. It's heartbreaking to see like I've only seen a few, but I can imagine. Do they have them like on display somewhere, like in a museum, or because I know the pictures got out. I don't know if it's because it's in some like locked up place and they just showed us pictures, or if it's in a museum, I feel like that's kind of messed up because it's dead people.
Yeah,
but I mean, like transporting them instead of leaving them alone.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, at the same time, there's mummies, right? That's dead people, and they have them in museums. So
yeah. Well, it's Pompeii is intriguing to see people like curl up in a ball, like covering their children and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so sad, but it's crazy. I'm always intrigued, like when you talk about these Roman soldiers and stuff that are being found, or you want to see what they're buried with. They have their, any weaponry or a shield or anything, or if they just, were put in a tomb. I mean, most soldiers like that, they would just be left in the field. They didn't get any sort of grave. So this person had to have been somewhat important in that time frame, which makes it, even more intriguing to me, at least. So
yeah, when you find stuff like this and there's like diary entries and stuff, and you hear just how life was back then from someone who was alive, not just like a historian guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
Crazy. All right, we have an update. Now we're gonna get back on the road here.
I feel like we need like a side adventure, like intro and outro.
I agree.
I'll say you
I'm
need
gonna ask
Blabs.
Phoenix.
You need Blabs. I'm going on an adventure. That's
Yeah,
what we
just,
need.
Phoenix needs to meme my face over Bilbo Baggins. I'm going on an adventure. I'll ask him right now.
Sounds good. Yes, please do. All right, let's go and continue. We have an update on the Gina Carano Disney case. Wicked, have you been following this since the start?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, this is actually very big, as people have been asking about, like, this is one of the big asks that Gina Carano and her team have been asking for, which is discovery. Do you know anything about discovery, Wicked, and like why that's so important?
No, actually, I don't.
So let me kind of give you a brief rundown thanks to AI. What is discovery in law? Okay, discovery in law is the best way to describe it is it's a phase in the law is a common jurisdiction is a phase of pretrial procedure in a lawsuit in which each party through the law of civil procedure can obtain evidence from other parties. This is by means of methods of discovery such as interrogations, questions about certain documents, requested admissions, and depositions. So this right here means that there's a lot of things that information that Disney previously had hid or had privately that are now going to be made public for the first time, which is why it's such a big deal. So discovery motion granted in Gina Carano's case against Disney. The court is forcing Disney to turn over information about how stars like Pedro Pascal, Rosario Dawson, and others from The Mandalorian and other Disney Plus Star Wars shows and the forthcoming movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu, were compensated for their roles. So that's obviously a big deal because this is a case that was built around discrimination. She feels like she was discriminated against. Disney was like, what are you talking about? And you'll have a better idea as to like how she was paid in comparison to these other co-stars in this situation.
I'm actually curious to see about this. Like really curious because every single actor that they mentioned there has gotten away with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Right. There's been a lot of
even Rosario, like, yeah, all of them. They're all shit.
Well, Carano says this is a small breath of fresh air and a long, arduous process. I'm grateful to the court for moving so quickly. I look forward to the details of my case becoming public and clearing my name, which will allow me to continue doing what I love without such brutal discrimination. I remain incredibly grateful for this opportunity to defend myself against this Goliath. Thank you, Elon Musk and X, which goes back to this is Elon Musk funding this court case. So just as a quick recap, thanks to Grok for this. So Gina Carano, a former MMA fighter and actress who played Cara Dune in The Mandalorian, was fired by Disney in 2021 after a controversial social media post, including comparing being a Republican to being Jewish during Nazi Germany, prompting her lawsuit against Disney for wrongful termination. Which I don't think that's I think that's how it was publicly portrayed, but I don't think that's what she was doing.
No,
right.
I remember the post. She was just basically comparing that the neighbors turned on them, and it was about getting the vaccine. And she was right. They did. First, the neighbors and family turned on people because we got the other celebrities that were like line people up that didn't get the vaccine and, disgrace them. And that's what happened. And people took it the complete wrong way because they're dumb. They don't know how to like read between the lines or
critical
actually just they don't know critical thinking. Because I remember finding it and taking a screenshot and like sending it to my mom, and she was like, yeah. Because we were, it was a big discussion. And then the next day, I think it was, I was like, very loud Italian house. I'm like, Gina got fired. What? Like, but it was ridiculous. Yeah. And people still go with that because they can't be wrong. And again, like you said, critical thinking, not their forte.
It's, this will be very interesting. And apparently everything needs to be turned over in the next 20 days. So we're going to
I hope like Rachel Zegler was added to that list.
Well, Zegler doesn't necessarily have a whole lot to do with Mandalorian. So
No, it's still a Disney employee.
Right.
So I'm wondering.
They're going to drop her now, probably. She's a PR
because like
nightmare.
all of her statements, right, that can be compared to not having repercussions and discrimination. She's still a Disney employee. So it depends on the fine line of everything, right, on like what actors. Because I know they were doing all the Star Wars sequel actors, The Mandalorian. But like you can totally just open it up to all the Disney actors and you'll just see all the bullshit.
Yeah.
Crazy Eyes Rachel Zegler.
Good old Crazy Eyes Zegler over there, huh?
Bo Blue. I was like, no, I'm scared.
You scare me.
We got this from Marius. Says Blabs needs her own segment called Side Quest.
Oh yeah.
Side Adventures.
I like Side Quest. It's pretty good.
I like Side Quest too, but the thing is we always say that whenever we derail from a main topic to go to a smaller topic and then come back. So if we say Side Adventures, it's a little bit different.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we have this. This is kind of interesting. I think this is real, or at least this is really new. When you go buy video games, you go to the store. At least you used to. And one of those stores was called GameStop. And apparently people are now defending a GameStop employee who stabbed a customer in the neck, calling it self-defense. So let's just play this video. There's no blood or anything here, but I think it's worth talking about. This is happening at a major video game retailer. So let's see what happens here.
You're just walking by.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Both these dudes are fucking idiots, right? I can just tell just by the way they're bowing up to each other. So no matter what happens, they're both fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, now he's the asshole because he's saying step outside.
You trying to moonwalk?
What was that? Oh my god! Oh my god! He stabbed him! He stabbed him! I told you, dog! I told you not to fucking play with me. He stabbed him in the neck! Down wood! Oh my god! Down wood!
Okay.
If she really cared, why didn't she put down the phone and go help him immediately?
Well, I don't know if this person on the phone has a dog in the fight, right? But I don't understand how this can be seen as self-defense at all.
He didn't even swing at him. Like it was so quick that I almost didn't even catch it.
Well, the guy. So does he have a knife in his hand?
Yeah, he's been holding a knife this entire time in his hand. And it's like a really big one too.
Yeah, that is a pretty fucking big knife right there. You can see it right here. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Okay.
Surprised one of them didn't rip their shirt off and go, "Let's go," and start beating their chest. Like,
okay. I didn't see that he was holding the knife the entire time. Holy
yeah.
shit.
Why would you stand so close to someone with a big ass knife? I'd be like, well, see you later.
Yeah, I'd leave.
Okay, both these guys are fucking idiots.
Oh,
but like,
yeah. Wow.
Wow. Yeah, what is up with people stabbing people? We got that story of that kid here in North Texas who got stabbed in the heart.
Stop stabbing people.
Dude, maybe we should ban all knives like they do in the UK. Fuck that. I'm just kidding.
He's like, I'm kidding. Don't yell at me, Chad.
Yes, I'm totally kidding. I'm totally
Chad's
kidding.
calling it a game stab now.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Obviously, this kid has serious issues.
Yeah. He's getting defended?
Yeah, I don't understand how you can defend that.
See,
that guy didn't even swing at him or anything. He was just in his face.
I want to know what happened before.
There is context there, but you know what? Like, yes, context is very important. Why they started to bow up on each other.
Like why he pulled out his knife, everything.
Right, but at the same time, he didn't swing. He literally said, "Come outside." Yes, he's up in his face here, but he does not make contact. I haven't seen contact with him once.
No.
So I don't understand how you can say this is self-defense at all.
It's not.
Wow.
Oh.
Maybe somebody should raise $200,000 like they did for that other guy who stabbed the kid in the head.
Fuck that.
That's so fucking embarrassing. It's crazy. Oh my God. Well, GameStop looks like you got some issues on your hand there, guys. I wonder if he's been fired.
I hope so.
Sure,
I would think
so.
so. I wouldn't want him working there anymore. He could stab someone again.
Yeah, unless like the evidence before the recording isn't like somehow sways everything, right? But I don't know. I don't know what happened before then.
Okay, hold on. So somebody said, okay, Craig doesn't mean assault doesn't mean touching. It's the approach. Like, if you want to watch this again, we can, because the guy is literally inviting him out. He said, "Hey, step outside. Let's go. Step outside."
He's being the aggressive one. It looks like
he's the one instigating this whole thing right here.
First contact, 2.
So, if you look up the definition of assault, make a physical attack on.
Right. Well, if you talk to somebody on Reddit, that means if you talk mean to them.
Yeah, your words hurt me, so I'm going to physically hurt you.
Like, I understand, personal space and everything, but I don't really think getting up in somebody's face is assault. You're not touching them.
No.
Well, we're not all lawyers here,
Yeah.
but in our basic, silly, just looking at it from a common sense perspective, it sure looks like the guy holding the knife, inviting the other guy outside to get in a fight, probably was the aggressor. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
So, I'm waiting for the GoFundMe to start up for that guy. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let's dig into some Nintendo stuff. We got a lot going on here and a lot to talk about. So hang tight with us. Appreciate you guys popping in. Do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Once again, there's a direct correlation between your thumbs up and discovery of the show on a day-to-day basis. Please make it a part of your routine as you guys come in. We'd really appreciate that. Okay, so the Switch 2 is here, or at least it's coming here very soon. Originally $450. We understand that, but then they pulled it off. They said, hey, we're going to hold off on pre-orders, at least in the United States, because we got places like Norway where you can pick one up if you'd like.
Unless you're Arch and you won't even go near a Nintendo console. You'd rather sleep with 50 whores.
Right. That's a deep cut. You probably should show that conversation.
Oh, yes.
Yes. But because not everybody's on your Twitter feed when you're talking about that. But one of the big conversations was about the game key cards, not the actual games themselves, but the little games that have the keys on them. They don't have any physical data outside of the key to allow you to play. And this is something I didn't actually think about at all, but Nintendo says that you can borrow and resell the Nintendo Switch 2 game key cards. So when you buy those little ones that don't have data on them, you can still share them with a friend, apparently. Nintendo confirms that the Switch 2 game key card downloads aren't locked to a specific Nintendo account. So they said, key cards will start up on the console or system that it's slotted into, and it's not tied to an account or anything. That behavior is different from the Switch games that Nintendo currently sells in retail locations, which feature a download code instead of a physical cartridge. Those codes can only be used a single time and connected to a specific Nintendo account, preventing them from being resold at a later date. So that's kind of interesting, I suppose. I guess, I don't know, your thoughts on that, Wicked?
I didn't know they were going to do that. I was actually had a conversation about this because the prices, they are crazy. And, I think back to my mom couldn't really afford the games for me for my 64, and we used to go rent some. I had a few that I owned, but they're expensive. So I used to rent games from Hollywood Video and Blockbuster, and I wish they would bring it back. And this kind of seems like, it's not that you're renting it, but I mean, if you can split it, that helps people, right? Like some family that's got money, their kids have all the Switch 2 games, and some kid that can't afford it but has the Switch 2 can borrow from his friend. So that's a plus, I would say, but I didn't even know they were doing that. I'm still kind of confused by the key situation. I wouldn't say confused, but are they not making physical games? It's either the key or a download, and that's it. You're muted, Craig.
Did you read my lips go, oh, fuck me? So yes, you put the game in, it acts like a game, but it tells the system that you can play it, that there's no actual data on the card itself. You have to download the game itself from the store, and then you get access to the game with the key card, if I'm understanding correctly. It's kind of convoluted, but the point is now that you can actually borrow and sell them. So
okay, well, I think that is a plus. It's probably their response, because they had to have known people were going to be, these prices are crazy. I mean, I feel bad for parents that can't afford it. So this will definitely help that a little bit. I'm for it. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. All right. Well, we also have this, which was we talked about the pre-orders from Nintendo. So we're going to be rapid firing through a lot of quick hit stuff for Nintendo here. Doug Bowser, the ironically named Doug Bowser, the president of Nintendo of America, did an interview with the illustrious propaganda arm, MSNBC, and was talking about everything that was going on over there, and good for him. Oh, I'm sorry, this is CNBC, not MSNBC. Sorry, CNBC. My bad. Totally legit. Anyways, he said they want to reward their most loyal players with their own pre-order system, and that's their goal. Their goal is to meet demand. So we've talked about how they're going to do this. Let's take a listen from the man himself.
Let's talk about supply. Really interesting pre-order mechanism you got going on, at least through if we buy from you directly.
That's right.
I thought this was interesting. It seems to be an anti-scalper move, if I'm reading it correctly, where you have to have a Nintendo account. You're going to look at how many hours I play before you determine if I'm worthy of buying a Switch 2. Are people going to be able to go out and buy it on day one?
So you're going to see, first of all, you're speaking to our own pre-order program that we have through My Nintendo or through Nintendo.com. And our motivation there with the number of hours played was really to reward our most loyal players and to give them a chance to queue up first and have an opportunity to purchase the product. Tomorrow, we're going to be meeting with our retail partners, and our retail partners will have their own pre-order programs. So our goal is to meet the demand that's going to be out there for Nintendo Switch 2.
Do you think you can?
Well, it remains to be seen. Yeah. But that certainly is our goal.
It's not going to be a Wii 1 situation where
we certainly
years of supply constraints, or the PlayStation 5 years of supply constraints. No COVID to deal with now. So
that's correct. That's correct. And we've had some time to build up inventories on a global basis.
Okay.
So we really do hope we can
these
meet
are
that
ready
today.
to ship. They're ready to go.
They're even landed already in some in the United States. Yes.
Oh, wow. So now people are going to go hunting for warehouses, I think, for these things.
So this idea that, there's a prerequisite. If you want to buy directly or pre-order directly from Nintendo, you have to have 50 hours of gameplay or whatever it is, these prerequisites that they have. Wicked, what do you think about that? Your thoughts on Nintendo kind of saying, here's a bar, you have to meet this in order for us to sell you this product?
That's kind of silly. Like, what if somebody never owned a Switch 1 and they're interested in getting the Switch 2 and they can't because they don't have hours? That's odd. It's kind of odd.
That limits perspectives.
Yeah.
So you're only looking for like one certain audience, like a teeny tiny thing, when your audience should be like super broad and you should be getting everybody.
Mm-hmm. This pointed out by you in the movies. Eric says if stock is already in the U.S., then they didn't have tariffs on them. It's actually a really good point. It's something to consider here. So people talking about the tariffs and everything. I think the idea of how they're kind of gatekeeping is really interesting. I don't hate it from a Nintendo perspective.
It's to keep out scalpers, right?
Right.
So I mean, that makes sense, but it's just, I don't know. I mean, I guess anyone, to be fair, if you're getting the Switch 2, you probably did have the first one, but there's going to be like a small amount of people that may not. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah. Ian says, no phones when you're working the till. What about my knife? Yeah, the knife's fine. Thank you very much, Ian, for that. Talking about the GameStop guy. Shayna says, y'all should have Wicked Virtue on more often. She's great. Also, I'm Italian like Blabs. I was raised by Chef Boyardee. Craig, stop talking to yourself, weirdo. Sorry, Shane. Appreciate that. Look at Blabs' face. It's just disgusted.
The fuck you compare me to Chef Boyardee for, man?
No, he didn't compare you. He said he was raised by Chef Boyardee.
He's like, I'm Italian like Blabs. That was a dig. I get you, but no.
Marius says, sure thing, Timu Bruce Willis. Don't talking about Doug Bowser like that. Dark Flawed is here. Says, I just found a statistic that says 50% of violent crime at GameStops are done by 13% of the population. Huh? Crazy. Dark Flawed, relax. Mercenary says, I just an old Karen, I guess called an old Karen a liar, assault and battery free. Wait, hold on. Mercenary, you have assault and battery? I'm going to need more to that story. I feel like there's a little bit more. All
maybe by battery, he's talking about like AA batteries.
Yeah, maybe. Let's hopefully that's what's going on. We have this as well. CNBC asked Bowser if they're going after Disney. I thought this was a kind of interesting take on their product.
Should we be thinking of Nintendo as more of a character and IP company now versus, are you guys trying to go after Disney here? Or strict gaming? How do we think about that?
I think you should think of us as an entertainment company, because going all the way back to our origins in 1889, we were all about entertainment. We started as a manufacturer of playing cards, Hanafuda playing cards. And through our history, we've had various iterations of gameplay, whether that's toys, whether that's bowling alleys, a whole host of things. Now, Today, absolutely, video games is at the core of our entertainment experiences, but we've also learned that these characters and these worlds have the ability to step beyond just a video game environment. So the examples you provided, such as movies, are a wonderful example of that. In the end, our mission is to create smiles. Very simple, very straightforward. The strategy that we utilize to go about doing that is to increase the number of touch points that consumers can have with our characters in worlds. So movies, theme parks, other out of video game experiences continue to create those touch points and thereby the affinity, if you will, for our characters in games. And if people then want to come into our gaming ecosystem and be a part of that, we welcome it.
So interesting. A lot of corporate gobbledygook speak in there as far as touch points and affinity for brands and all that stuff. But it definitely seems like they're trying to leverage, with obviously the theme park side of it and other aspects. I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't know, Wicked, would you like to see Nintendo expand outside of the video game space and maybe potentially challenge Disney, maybe use Universal as a proving ground for what their brands can do to eventually maybe launch their own theme park, perhaps?
Yeah, absolutely. That would be awesome. Especially like Disney parks aren't doing well right now. Epic Universe, they're opening next month. I'm going to try to go. So maybe I can give you guys the deets on that. I think that's great. And it's really smart. I know that was a bunch of corporate talk that he had going on there, but it's very smart to open up your brand because some kids might go to the theme park, love it. And then they're going to become gamers and they're going to buy their games. I'm absolutely for it. I would love to see. I mean, I guess they kind of do have their own theme park, right? But maybe not attached to Universal, where there's just a Nintendo World or something,
Right.
Yeah, I would love to see it.
And for those who say that's crazy, I mean, keep in mind that's like, think about when you go to Universal right now. There are Disney properties at Islands of Adventure. They have all the Marvel,
Spider-Man.
They got Spider-Man, Captain America, right? And Disney later obviously acquired those companies and brought them into their theme parks and such. But you still find those things at Universal, so it's not that crazy of an idea.
I also don't think Nintendo will ever have its own theme park just because of movie rights and everything with Universal and stuff.
Yeah, true.
But I even did a quick Google, right? So the first Nintendo Land was in Japan in 2021. Then the one in Hollywood opened up, and now in Florida. And if you keep thinking about it, all these kids are going to be able to experience Nintendo for the first time. And then they're going to be like, oh my God, who is Princess Peach? I really want to play more of her. And then they're going to go and play like Princess Peach. All the girls, right? Princess Peach or Toad or Toadette or Mario, Luigi. They're all going to play these games now because of it. So it's honestly genius to just include everything and keep going.
Let's take it a step further, right? So Epic Universe is opening. How many kids do you think are going to be exposed to those monsters for the first time? That see Frankenstein or Wolfman or whatever. Like these are relics of Universal's past that they are paying homage to, that these kids do not grow up with, and they go to see Nintendo, and then through association they're going to be exposed to the monsters. They're exposed to How to Train Your Dragon or whatever they're, the hub and spokes aspect of it makes a hell of a lot of sense. And I think it's super duper smart for Nintendo to be doing this. And like I said, I think Nintendo will be great until Miyamoto says goodbye. And that's the thing I think has been lost on this conversation about Nintendo over the last, week or so since they announced the Switch 2 was like, I love Nintendo. I've always loved Nintendo. Anybody who watches shows knows that Nintendo's been a huge part of my life. That doesn't mean you can't be critical of them. You can't be critical of Nintendo and some of the decisions that they make or and that's I feel like that's definitely the nuance has been lost in this conversation as always, but it's the internet. I understand what the expectation. Speaking of nuance and reactions to things that are going on, we've talked about how more or less the tech demo for the Nintendo Switch 2, this thing they're calling Welcome Tour, is they're charging $10 for it. They're going to charge you for this tech demo of the Switch 2. This is from Kind of Funny. We've talked about Kind of Funny, on our show before. They have a rotating group of people on their show. And I just have in the run sheet here, like, look, we're all hypocrites, right? We're all hypocrites. This is the problem, 100%. And we all understand that. And I'm not bashing this guy by any means, like, because we're all hypocrites. I've said this before on the show. Like, as soon as you realize you're a hypocrite, the better your life's going to be, right? So listen to this here.
Welcome tour costs $10. I mean, fuck off. Seriously. This talking about Nintendo taking away. This is so fucking stupid. Okay, I'll concede a couple of things. $10 is not an exorbitant amount of money, right? But this is basically the fucking instruction manual for the system. Like, I literally just saw something saying, here's how you detach the Joy-Cons. I'm paying $10 for that, for like basic functionality.
I feel like the internet should really get on this guy for having this opinion, and they should bombard his show with takes. But let's go continue, see what else he has to say.
And they say, oh, there's more to it. How much was there in Astro's Playroom? A ton of shit. I bet there was more in Astro's Playroom than there is in this fucking thing. Sony gave you that for free. And if $10 is $10 is not a lot of money, why does Nintendo fucking need it? I guarantee I need $10 more than Nintendo does.
I think even if you packed it in, like, I don't think there's a high percentage of people that are putting this up. This isn't Astrobot.
Okay, and here's the other part of it right here. Here's the second part. So he went in and he railed them for 45 seconds talking about how shitty this is. I need that money more than Nintendo does. They should just be a pack in. What about Sony?
The only thing is, I'm still going to fucking buy it. And I'm angry at myself. I'm still going to pay the $10.
You're playing. You're not. Gary.
No,
You cannot just go on that diatribe and tell Nintendo to fuck off and then still buy
Nintendo for making me do this because they know I'm going to.
You're voting with your wallet, Gary.
I'm not the only one. They're going to sell a lot of these to people that go, you know what? Fuck you, Nintendo. But I'm going to buy it.
I don't know how many.
You're proving them right.
He's not wrong. There's going to be literally millions of people who are saying that. Fuck you, Nintendo. But also, here's my money. Like,
it's true.
That's the problem. We all understand it, and we're all part of the problem here. You know, we all get it. So, I'm a big advocate of voting with your wallet, but there definitely is an aspect to like, oh, but damn.
Greedy Nintendo gonna greed.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people can relate to that clip because whether it's Nintendo or Sony or pick whatever product you have affinity for, your case Harry Potter, Blabs, whatever, Wicked. Do you have a brand or anything that you have an affinity for?
Not really. I mean, I like Buffy. Duh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm very upset with what's going on with that. So don't get me started on that.
But the idea that you can be upset with something, still be pissed at it, hate it, but I'm still going to buy it. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, some people, though, there is no nuance. Nuance is lost. And we've seen this. And Reddit is the place for this right now. We've talked about how this is our lead story today. Just absolutely crazy, man. These people are broken. This is a post over on Reddit. It says, I can no longer think about Nintendo without being reminded of Trump.
Okay. Because that's exactly what I think of. I see Nintendo and I'm like,
I know.
Donald Trump, big Japanese man.
Oh my God. This tariff bullshit has me so much of my, this has made so
I'll
much
read
of my
for you. Don't worry, Craig.
Okay,
it's
read it with some oomph and some crazy.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
This tariff bullshit has made me so much of my Reddit and YouTube feeds feel toxic. It's one thing to be talking about price of Switch 2, but now everything feels strained by that orange beep fucker. I can't see any discussion about Switch 2 and high prices and not being able to pre-order a console I've been waiting for years without feeling unreasonable angry. I can't escape this jerk. This is like a rabid orangutan ran into the Olympic racetrack and mauled the leading
Hold on, Blabs. The up Olympic. racetrack, not the Olympic.
That says, that says Olympic.
Read it the way they wrote it. They want you to.
This is like a rabbit orangutan right into the Olympic racetrack and mauled the leading runner inches before the finish line. I'm praying that one day I'll have the Switch 2 in my hands and enough time will have passed that I no longer associate Mario with literally the most repulsive person currently on Earth. But right now, everything feels tainted by that piece of shit.
They were frothing so much that they messed up their spelling, like it was falling onto the keyboard.
Yeah.
Jeez. What color hair do you think they had?
Blue.
Blue?
Or like a rainbow, you know?
I'm gonna go with like turquoise or something.
Yeah.
What do you think their pronouns are?
They, them?
Hates Trump.
That's funny.
Terminally online, I don't know.
Yeah. It's funny because actually, we can find out really quick. Let me see. I don't know. Have you ever hated something so much that or somebody or someone so much that it just totally, like, people feel this way about J.K. Rowling now? You know?
Yeah.
They
feel this way about like Disney with Star Wars. That's justified them.
Well, yeah. Well, okay, hold on. What is justified, Blabs? Like
their
people
hatred
say
towards Disney Star Wars and everything that they've done and tarnished their entire IP and franchise and ruined original main characters that existed for like 40 years.
Okay.
You found the Redder, didn't you?
I did.
Oh dare. That face said everything.
Oh boy, we found it. And I'll tell you, I'm just gonna zoom this in.
Oh, please don't.
Hold on. Just here is their Reddit little avatar here for everybody.
What is that?
I don't know. But there you go. It makes all the sense in the world now. Yes.
Really brings out his gayness.
So it's a tubby.
It's a gay Teletubby.
Yeah,
with hair.
Oh my gosh. Even with the Karen hair on the avatar. Wow.
Amazing stuff. Just fascinating.
Cut out jean shorts, all of it.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't that color heart the lesbian heart? Isn't that what that is?
You know what it is? It's the mentally broken heart. That's what it is right there.
I can't keep up.
Or is that like asexual? I can't remember. There's too many colors, man.
All right. Wow. Well, you're part of the problem, Blabs, you bigot.
I guess
How dare you not know? How dare you not know?
I don't know.
How about you respect they-thems?
Flash says trans colors. No, I was talking about the top heart. There was a
I think that's that one is it's like trans or like pansexual.
This
or
one up
something.
here.
Oh, dude.
Probably trans. Yeah. She's like, I gotta look it up now. What colors?
Google now.
Means broken. Congratulations. Kratos came into the tin and says, it's just to let existing Switch owners get around scalpers. People can still pre-order / purchase through normal ways. It's only temporary restriction on launch. I think it's brilliant. Fuck you, scalpers. Thank you, Kratos.
I found it.
What's that?
It's a bisexual flag.
Oh, okay. So we like the wiener. Sounds good.
The shades of purple and blue is bisexual because the trans ones are like the pink, white, and blue. Yeah.
Ian says, I'm sick of the whining activists and their oppression Olympics. Well,
he spelled it the way that they did Olympics.
Yes, Olympics.
I'd rather Olympics, to be honest.
Kratos came in and says, you should check out the Treehouse on the Welcome Tour game. I think it's similar to 1-2 Switch, which sold for $50 and was also a tech demo. It has a ton of mini games and collectathons. All right, Kratos, appreciate that. They didn't do a very good job of selling it because they more or less described it as a tech demo for it. So, when you self-admittedly describe it as that, it doesn't get me a whole lot very excited to spend $10 on it. Mary says it's the LGBTQ final boss. Here it is right there. All right.
It'd be really funny, Kate. That just popped into my head. If somebody modded like the final boss of, let's say, Elden Ring, and it's like an LGBTQ final boss, and it's like got all the pride flags and stuff in this Elden world. I don't know why I just thought of that. Anyway, carry on. Modders,
Blabs' mind.
Well, Blabs, I have bad news for you.
Oh.
Very, very bad news for you.
Oh.
You were very excited about the
Piranha Camera.
Yes, the Piranha Plant Camera, which is a third-party camera. You thought it was very cute and adorable.
It is.
But I have bad news.
It's definitely unique. It's a great design.
Well, it is a great design. The problem is it's not a great camera. It's going to have drastic drastic downgrade from Nintendo's 1080p camera, which you see on the left. Blabs, this is going to be coming through in a blistering 1998 480p. So it'll be 480p resolution right here, a mere 480p.
Why would they even bother trying to sell that?
Because people think it's cute and they love it.
Yikes. Maybe they're really trying to get for that vintage 90s look. Like, look, I'm in a camera from the 90s. I'm 480p. What's up? Yeah.
There you go. You can definitely tell. So, and people will buy that. It'll sell tens of thousands of units because parents will buy it for their kids because it looks cuter than the black one. So I found this interesting. This is from over on X. How much Mario Kart World cost in Japan? You can see right there, 8,980 yen. I believe that's yen right there. And when you convert that over to United States, $61.
Wow.
So that's interesting. Any thoughts on that?
It makes sense because even their region lock console is priced lower than ours. So I think it's just all the same. Like if their console's lower, the video games are going to be lower. If our consoles are more expensive, the games are going to be more expensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lance in the chat says Japan first. Hey, hey, listen, you racist.
Come on out, you racist.
That's right. Oh man, Mary says so that you can be as pixelated as Mario in the original Super Mario Brothers. See, Blabs, there you go.
Ah, it's a tie-in.
Pay homage right there. That's good. We also have this as Nintendo Switch 2 pre-orders have been delayed in Canada in order to assess impacts on the tariffs right there, of the impacts of tariffs right there. So sorry, Canadians, you suckers. We also have this pre-orders for Nintendo Switch 2 in Canada will not start April 9th. Which April 9th, it was what, tomorrow?
Yeah,
yes,
tomorrow. So in order to align with the timing of pre-orders to be determined in the United States, which once again, going back, I think Eric nailed it here. If there's already Switch 2s in the wild, like literally in warehouses, tariffs have nothing to do with the cost. And I know they're talking about long-term here. Maybe there's 1 million of them in the United States, right? Or North America. But I don't know. It just seems kind of flimsy to me. You know, I understand the idea of reassessing.
It's just an excuse to scream and shout and go, wee!
There's a lot of reading on the internet. Welcome to the internet.
Yes.
Well, you were reading about this. What's going on here, Blabs?
Oh, I'm just laughing because it's like, hey, this is the thing that people who want a Switch 2 can actually afford. A keychain for the Switch 2. 600 points. Yay.
There you go. Pick it up. Okay. So there you go. There's your Switch talk for the day. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Did you? Probably not. That's okay.
I did.
Thanks, Blabs. Appreciate that.
Wait.
Hey, Wasp came in and says, most of Reddit is just a bunch of helmet-wearing window lickers. I ignore them by default. What does that even mean?
The window lickers.
That may be the best insult I've ever heard, you window licker. It's fucked up, dude. It's fucked up. You guys, thank you very much. And Mercenary, relax, buddy. Relax. All right. I wanted to get to this to finish up the show today, which, look, we've said not a lot of nice things on the show today. We've talked about a lot of different things, but this is the segment that'll be clipped, and I understand that because that's how the internet is. But so and I got to be honest, I didn't even know this was happening until this morning. But so I got ratioed by IJustine on my post about her being like her video being toxic and access media, right? I don't know if you saw that, Wicked. Did you see my post about that the other day?
I don't think so. Okay,
so it was honestly, it was a throwaway tweet. I just saw it and I was like, okay, and I just kind of threw it out there. But it's a 23-second video about, and IJustine is just kind of talking about her first impressions of the Switch 2, right? And I just said, this is access media and toxic positivity rolled up into 23 seconds. And just for context, here's the video.
Check it out. I just got a chance to play the new Mario Kart World, and it was so much fun. But take a closer look at the Nintendo Switch 2 with the display on. Huge screen. So fun, so crisp, so clean. Oh, it's beautiful. I cannot wait for June 5th.
Okay, so I was like, look, that's toxic positivity. It's access media. Like, you have access to go to this event. You have access to see the Nintendo Switch 2. And I posted this, and, you know, it's like people caught onto it. And like I said, it was just like a throwaway thing, right? So, but people took like great offense to this idea that they thought I was like attacking IJustine. And I can see why they would think that, but I wasn't. Like, I have a lot of respect for her. She's been in the game for a long time. But you know, this is the internet, and people take offense to things. If you can say anything about anything, people will be like, "Oh, you hate Nintendo." It's like, no, I fucking love Nintendo, right? But I thought about it, like, specifically, like I'm gonna be very honest. I thought toxic positivity was like total bullshit for a long time. But I understand why it's a negative thing. This idea of I don't know. First and foremost, Wicked, your thoughts on toxic positivity. Do you think it's a real thing? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing, or can you be toxically positive, if that makes sense?
Well, I never heard the term until your tweet that I read this morning. So it depends on how you look at it. People, they see the word toxic and immediately they're going to say you're attacking. But I think there's nothing wrong with being positive, but being overly positive and ignoring problems with something that you're talking about, that is what could be the toxic part of it, I guess, if that's how you want to look at it. But I do think, especially on the internet, we need more positivity, but also critical thinking when it comes to something, you know, like the Switch 2. I'm excited about it. I do think the prices stink, and I feel bad for people that can't afford it. But I'm overall very hyped and excited for it. I'm a Nintendo fan, but I am like critiquing the price and everything, and you know, the things that aren't good about it. But again, I'm gonna buy it. So, you know, yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that you were pointing out something that should be talked about, and you got attacked for it.
Right. Of course. Of course I did. So I put together a tweet just kind of talking about this. Is being excited is great. I love seeing people get hyped about things they love, but there's a difference between genuine positivity and toxic positivity. And that difference matters. Toxic positivity is when criticism, concern, and even mild skepticism gets shut down with just be positive, or stop being negative, or worse, you get labeled as hating or toxic. And while it may seem harmless, it actually does more harm than good. And this is why. It shuts down honest conversations, it silences valid concerns, it creates fake trust in echo chambers, it punishes critical thinking, and it prevents real growth and improvement. Loving something doesn't mean pretending it's perfect. You can celebrate and still say this could be better. In fact, that's how things actually get better. So yeah, be excited, be joyful, be passionate, but let's not act like any critique is hate. Positivity should be real, not forced. Otherwise, all we're doing is protecting bad ideas and pretending everything is fine. And when it's not, real fans think critically. Fake positivity doesn't help anyone. And I think the best case example we saw in the last year of toxic positivity is what was happening with one of the biggest failures in video game history, Concord. Like, Concord was built around toxic positivity. Everybody in that studio thought everything was going so fucking well because, hey, this is great. This is awesome. What are you talking about? This is the best thing in the world. What are we talking about? And it was one of the biggest failures in video game history because people were afraid to have any sort of judgment or any sort of against the narrative idea. When people watch our show, they will say, oh, all you do is talk about the negative. And they're taking clips out of context and whatever. It is what it is. Like I said, it's on the internet. But oftentimes, like, how do you improve, right? I feel that I love the gaming industry enough to criticize it, if that makes sense, right? The idea that if you want something to improve, you have to look at it through a critical eye, right? Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, he loves Star Wars so much, he's willing to call that shit out. Blabs loves Harry Potter so much that she's willing to call shit out, right? Not everything is always hunky-dory and rosy. It's okay to be critical of things. And when you do that, people who are hidden behind that toxic positivity nature of everything's great, everything's awesome. Hey, $80 is fine. What do you see the cost of games back then? Whatever, they get offended and they get upset, and then they start to attack you. And it goes back to this idea that people don't like mean words, right? And they're not mean; they're just critical. And it's okay to be critical of these things. And I think that if you truly love something, you should be critical of it, right? And that ultimately, that's the best way for it to improve. I'm talking about Nintendo. I'm talking about video games. I'm talking about the entire industry. I'm talking about side scrollers. I'm talking about everything, right? You have to be critical. Everything can't be awesome all the time. But that's obviously on the internet, and that's lost. So anyways, there's my thoughts on that. Wicked. Your thoughts on what I said. Your first time hearing toxic positivity. Do you think it's valid?
Yeah, I think so. Another way you can look at it is that you're being passionate about something that you care for. And being passionate doesn't mean that you have to always be positive about it. You should be critical. The same thing goes for not just, franchises or IPs that we like. You could be passionate when you care about a human and they mess up. And sometimes people will just be kind and they don't want to let you know when you're messing up. But if someone truly cares for you, they're going to tell you when you're messing up so you could do better. And that's the same thing with these companies. When we critique them and they're messing up, we want better. We want the good stuff that we used to have. Like Star Wars is a really good example. We used to get great movies from them, and now it's just so bad. And people get mad like if they're enjoying it and we're not. So yeah, we get called negative and this and that, but we're just passionate about the things we love.
I think you I don't know, Blabs, you get called things for loving Harry Potter and kind of calling that shit out. Have you received this sort of, I'm not going to use the word criticism, but I saw the word used, cry bullying in the chat.
Yeah, I get it quite often if I say like I'm not for Black Snape or Black Hermione, and it's like, oh, how aren't you not progressive? And it's like source material. But honestly, I kind of just brush it aside because with Harry Potter, I know I'm right. So I'm just like, I'm right, you're wrong. Sorry, bye. And I just move on because it's like, well, you're just an idiot. I don't need to waste my time on you.
Right. Well, there was like I said, I usually post and mute a lot of things over on X, but this was interesting to kind of see the response to this. This person says fake negativity and exaggerating negativity doesn't help either, but you profit off that. So that's why you don't mention it in the same breath as toxic positivity. And our respondent says, if you watch our show, which you probably don't, you know that we spend most of the show talking positive things about positive things, but we also take a realistic look at issues in games and entertainment. Criticism is healthy. And I pretty much talk about, this is a longer tweet, but talk about this. Like, look, not everything is trash, right? Not every dev and creator or company is evil. Balance matters. Honest feedback is greater than performative outrage, right? And I said, for the record, over the last 20 years, I've been on both the access media and toxic positivity and the commentary side of the business. And trust me, when I say this, the toxic positivity side pays way better. I promise you that. Now he said the most popular clips of videos, shorts from your channel, from your show, whether on the YouTube platform or people sharing them on X, is it's you guys bashing on something trash. So even when you have moments of positive spotlight, it's overshadowed by insulting IJustine, which that's what it comes back to is I said something about something that somebody likes or somebody that somebody likes.
You hurt someone's feelings.
Right. And I said the most popular clips of any show online are when people are critical of insert product /social issues etc. There's a reason people slow down for car crashes, and there are rubberneckers. The same reason that clickbait exists, the same reason newspapers have always said if it bleeds, it leads for stories and headlines. That's literally human nature. That's just the way it is. And I'm sorry that people are like that. But that's just the reality of it, So, yeah, these people want to live in their bubbles, and I'm sorry to burst it, but it's okay to be critical of these things. So
it's okay to have a different opinion. Everybody, just breathe. I don't know. I wouldn't want to know what it's like to be inside these people's heads. Like, of course, we get offended and stuff. We're human, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just the way these people get so mad. Like if someone came to me and they were like, I can't stand Buffy. That's your favorite show. You're stupid for liking it. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'm like, well, that's your opinion. cool. Like, just little things like that. Like if you don't like something that someone likes and they get so mad, I can't fathom that mindset.
Right. Well, it continues, Blaz, because you were a part of this conversation. We had an out of context clip.
What?
Yeah. We had an out of context clip taken. Astro Cyborg, who I believe used to watch the show, doesn't anymore. He hates me. That's fine. He took the clip of us talking about this yesterday and kind of posted it online. That's fine. But he tagged the misclick person in it and the beat 'em up Woods guy in it, right? Where we talked about that yesterday, Blabs. And he said some people, this misclick lady says, some people are just stuck in a hole of misery. One day they'll find their way out, which I don't think anything about what we're talking about means we're miserable people, like at all. I actually think we're very happy, positive people. And this guy says, I love that he thought I was an Nintendo ambassador because he opened my bio and can't read. Listen, you're being very read phobic there. Everybody knows I can't read their wood. All right. I can't read and write. So deal with it. But I said, hey, I feel like you guys should come on our show and talk about this, or we can go on your platform, whatever works best for you. Invite is open on my side. You and your co-host already featured us on your platform where you are nothing but rude and wrong. What else is there to talk about? I said, well, there's plenty to talk about. We're actually open to having a conversation about why we're wrong and hearing your perspective on all this. We can squabble on X all day long and nothing would be accomplished. Or we can have a conversation like adults and maybe something good can come from it. Feel free to DM me and we can set something up. We'll work around your schedule. And this is where it always go back to the victim mentality. It's crazy. He says, I'm so tired of everything being performative when it comes to human relations. Either you feel bad for being a dick or you don't. Why the hell would I take what little energy I have to try and debate over such? That's rhetorical, by the way. I wouldn't. Says, I don't feel bad for laughing at all. With all due respect, your reaction seemed entirely performative and was designed to garner a reaction, which is why you posted it. It should say online. It did get a reaction, and I'm sorry it's not the one you wanted. This is the problem. You see conversation as debate. It's not. With that said, good luck with your streams. Enjoy the Switch 2, and the invite remains open. Proving my point exactly. I'm not going to come on someone's channel just so they can try for crossover redemption perks. The bridge was already burned with how y'all treated Justine. There it is.
My favorite part is they keep dragging me into this, but the only thing I said that was like, I didn't know who she was and I thought she was just someone like Jenna Marbles. That was all I even said.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Jenna Marbles is one of the pioneers.
She was one of my
right?
favorites.
No, but what I get from that, what that person said to you, I don't even, was it misclicks? I'm like, it already went onto my head.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come on your channel and debate with you because you don't have the same mindset I do. You don't agree with me. So why would I come on if I have to actually prove my point?
Yeah. Without and I think that's the thing. I don't want to debate anybody. We don't do debates on this show, right? I don't debate people. That's stupid. We have conversations. And I think that's going back to what I said. Like, that's the issue is these people see conversation as debate. It's okay to have a conversation like an adult and actually, hey, this is how I feel about things. Oh, cool. This is how you feel about things. Cool. This is why I think you're wrong. This is why I think you're wrong. Oh, okay, cool. And then you give each other a high five and you go on each other's merry way, right? But they took offense to that. Now, I will say this in response to the whole IJustine thing and the post that I had here. Like I said, unlike these folks, I'm actually open to having my mind changed. And you know what? I was here. Going back to the original post, this is Access Media and Toxic Positivity rolled up into 123-second video. Lonely Goomba replied, says, toxic positivity is when you impose it on others and expect everyone else to share the same sentiment. Someone giving their opinion that is positive isn't toxic, even if it doesn't seem authentic, right? I think this is totally fair and valid. And you know what? I agree. So I'll take the L. So this is the best take I've seen in response to the IJustine clip and post I posted. And I agree with Lonely Goomba. Authenticity is the key word here. And that to me was like, I was okay with it until it was like, okay. And then he says, even if it doesn't seem authentic, because that's the word that was lost in the original post was I didn't think that the IJustine post was very authentic. It's just like, look at how great this is. This is all the time. And you kind of turn yourself up to 11 while you're doing these videos. And it says, I could have been more clear with my words. I have no problem taking the L on that. So like I said, I'll take the L. talked about how Grums needs to take L's and other people need to take L's. I'll take the L when I need to take the L. And that's totally fine. But I think that Lonely Goomba said it better than me. So I think it just lacked authenticity. So that's all, but hey, it's the internet, and the internet's going to internet. So
yeah, they're going to take what they want out of what you say and not the actual meaning, no matter what. That's how it's always going to be.
Blabs, do we agree on everything on this show?
No.
No. It's almost like we can have these conversations, and it actually improves the show by not agreeing on everything.
Because we're not an echo chamber.
That's right. Despite what people may think. Steven came in and says, what are your thoughts on China considering a ban of U.S. films amid a trade war? Interesting. Y'all got any thoughts on that? Wicked? China saying no to U.S. movies?
I think it's kind of silly. I mean, I don't know what that's gonna.
It just means all the black people won't be shrunk on posters now.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like what that even means. Like, it's not going to hurt us. Is that what they're trying to do? I mean,
let's be real. China's really big. They do watch a lot of our movies, so I think we'll take a hit, but I think we'll be all right. We'll be all right. It's fine.
Kratos says, yeah, I agree. Nintendo's main failure with all this was not effectively communicating their game pricing model, game card technical details, content of some games, pre-order details, etc. Yeah, I think it was 100% a communication thing. Kratos, thank you very much. Ian says, we need a new segment. Craig cites his own tweet. Yeah, well, like I said, the show is more or less my Twitter feed throughout the day, But yeah, it's funny. I was watching ESPN today, and they have a segment that's called "Explain Your Tweet," where they have somebody who comes on and they just kind of, somebody says something throughout the day and some sort of passing consciousness, and then you have to go into more detail on it. So yeah, I think the way I see it is more people will see this than they will my tweet most of the time. So yeah, it's always worth having that conversation. So Mercenary, I'll get back to you in a second. All right, awesome. Commodore fan says, when it comes to bringing back a very long extinct animals, maybe God had a reason to take for them to go extinct, and so should man be trying to play God? No,
probably not.
No, should not. Absolutely not. All right. And Delta says, Craig, you should have replied to that one person, the promotion slot you gave to the developer of the giant titty lady game, and said, here's some positivity from your channel you don't get. Oh, you talking yesterday, the 25? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wish listed that game.
Did you?
I did.
Good for you, Blabs. Good for you.
Trying to wish list some indie games and stuff.
All right, nice. Okay, so we have Blabs versus Super Mario Brothers 2 coming up. I'm literally setting up the premiere right now. I just set that to go live. We have some super chats to get to, but we are going to be rating that immediately after the show. You literally don't need to go anywhere. You can stay on the window. This will redirect to that premiere. So hang tight with us. We're going to get to some super chats real fast, but please don't go anywhere. So Blabs, let's fire off with some of these supers.
Okay. Mercenary says, Hollywood executives know who really did it. Ankle Breaks is the bigger conspiracy theory, Kurt Cobain or Tupac.
Ooh.
Derelium says, get the FBI to release the Kurt files. John, remember 15 months, says, don't forget we lost the lead singer Lane Staley of Alice in Chains in 2002, listening to Nutshell in his honor. Wish says, sadly, it sounds like the direwolf isn't exactly a direwolf, but a regular wolf with edited genes. It is, however, similar to how Jurassic Park used frog DNA to patch up the dinosaurs, just in reverse. Yes, sort of. SPZ says, your Gramps won't be the same person you know. He'll be a nuisance kid who yells at chicken jockey appearance in Minecraft. Miles says, DNA scraping is how Cobra created Serpinator. That's some old pop culture.
Nice. Thank you, Miles.
I don't even know what that was.
Of course you don't.
Oh, my mouse is busted. Okay, there we go. Miles says DNA scraping is how. Oh, I just got that. Thank you.
Sure
Luffy
did.
says Guam people are called Chamoros. Get it straight?
Guamanese.
Yeah.
You think you'd know that, Blabs?
Right. Really, Boy Blue says, bring back all the grandpas. I so miss pull my finger jokes. Shield Wall says, bring back the giant sloth. It's the only real choice. Misfit for 2 says, you don't have to explain phones. You'd be too busy teaching them about the 200 genders and making sure they don't misgender anyone. And Mercenary says, nope, I called her a liar and she punched me in the face. I'm pressing charges and I have a case number in court. Okay, thanks, Mercenary. Harden says, Craig, a lot of people don't know what toxic positivity is, so it looks like you're just attacking IJustine.
Yep, you're right.
Misfit says, Craig, you cannot reason someone out of a position they hold that they did not use reason to come to. And Monkey says, common Astrocyborg W.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for your money. All right. Wicked, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me over on my YouTube and Kick, Wicked Virtue, also Instagram and X. Thursdays, I do the Wicked World podcast, 6 p.m. Eastern. And Saturdays, I have Saucy Saturdays with Extra Girl and This Brew, 7 p.m. Eastern. And then sprinkled throughout the week, I do gaming streams.
Love it. All right. You guys watching on YouTube, don't go anywhere. We're literally going to be redirecting to Blabs versus Super Mario Brothers 2. I'm going to fix all that, get us going, and it'll be premiering very quickly. So don't go anywhere. You guys on Rumble, I dropped the link in there. You guys use that link to head over to YouTube and check it out. Appreciate you guys popping in. Thank you so much for your support. And remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Have a great day, guys. See you later. Bye. Bye.
Fatality.